So when you run current through a conductor, like a piece of copper wire in the shape of a coil, it creates a magnetic field around the coil. If you run the current in the opposite direction through that same conductor, it reverses the polarity of that magnetic field. The opposite is also true, where if a magnetic field hits a conductor, it induces a current through that conductor. Here we can see a coil that has a current running through it, and so that creates a magnetic field. This magnetic field hits a piece of wire and makes a current run through the wire. Now that this conductor has a current running through it, it also produces its own magnetic field. There's a type of current called AC, or alternating current, where the direction changes really, really fast. If you were to graph this kind of current versus time, you would get a sine wave where you can see the current goes from positive to negative back and forth. Alternating current is super dangerous and is found in things like regular wall outlets.
As far as it goes.
Using AC, we can run alternating current through a coil, which constantly changes the direction of the current going through the coil, which will constantly change the polarity of the magnetic field that the coil produces. People figured this out and took advantage of it in order to build AC motors. The basic construction of an AC motor looks like this, where there's a bunch of coils placed around a metal rotor. Alternating current is ran through the coils, which makes them have a changing polarity magnetic field going around in a circle. The metal rotor has current induced to it that magnetizes it. This means that it will chase the magnetic field of the coils going around in a circle. This makes the rotor spin. By connecting an axle and gears to the rotor, we now have rotational mechanical energy from the electrical potential energy of something like a battery that would supply the AC to the coils in the motor. AC motors are now used in all sorts of things like refrigerators, air conditioning, and washing machines. And while it might seem like it, electric bikes don't actually use AC motors. They more commonly use DC motors, which have a different design. And while DC is not as dangerous as AC, you still have to be careful.
48 volt DC on them, which is a pretty harmless voltage. AC input, and I have my capacitor and diode here, and I'm probing across the diode. Now if I connect the circuits together,
And that is AC motors.